Congratulations, David. David, has it hit you yet that your number's going to be retired? And have you talked to any of the retired players like a Keith Hernandez or Darryl Strawberry?
So one of the first text messages I got when the Mets made the official announcement was from Keith Hernandez, and really long, really genuine text that it meant so much that I immediately actually called Jay Horwitz and I said, hey, I want to make sure that this is real. It meant a lot to me for a guy of his stature, what he's done for this organization and the game to reach out and share those kind of words. So I don't think it's hit me. I don't think it's ever going to hit me. I truly feel like it's a bit undeserved given the skill and accomplishments of some of the numbers that I'll be amongst up there. I joke that I think there should be a special section maybe for my number because it's probably not deserving being amongst the really, really good players in the organization. So I'm incredibly grateful for the honor. I don't take it lightly. I'm humbled. And for the organization, the fan base, the city, ownership, Steve and Alex Cohen to view me in this light, it's something that obviously means a ton to me.
Thank you.
The next question is from Bruce Beck.
David, congratulations.
Hey, Bruce.
What did it mean to you to represent this franchise as the captain and as a ball player for a number of years?
Well, the captaincy is the biggest honor that I'll ever receive, on a baseball field. To be viewed in the light, and that's something that you don't, you can't proclaim yourself the captain. It's got to be bestowed on you upon other people. And I remember the day during spring training when ownership and the front office and the coaches called me into the office and said, hey, this is what we're thinking. I immediately thought that, this isn't the way that this should work. There should be somebody that the players trust. And I don't care if it's a guy that has 20 years experience or a guy that's a rookie, that they should go talk to these guys and make sure that this is the way that they view me, because that was the most important thing, is that, I didn't want to be this self-proclaimed leader, captain of this team. I wanted to be viewed in that light by other people. And hopefully that's, that was the case. But, I think going back, and I hate to be long-winded about this, but I grew up right outside Norfolk, Virginia. Our AAA team was in Norfolk forever. My father was a police officer in Norfolk, Virginia, and a lot of his friends were off-duty police that would do security for the Norfolk Tides. So we'd go to the games with my 3 younger brothers and my dad, and he would know some of the off-duty police that are helping out with security. So I would get autographs or foul balls or pictures taken, and I found it was the biggest thrill for me to then turn on the TV a week later and see the guys that I took a picture with or got an autograph now playing for the New York Mets. So, just incredibly crazy that I'm drafted by my favorite team, our AAA teams in my hometown. I'm developed by some of my favorite players, my dad's favorite players growing up, whether it's Hojo or Gary Carter or, Tim Tuffle, Straw's around, Doc's around, Keith's around. It's crazy, the coincidence, and then to spend my entire career with the Mets. I think that's what makes this relationship so special between not just me and the team, but me and the city and the fan base, is that it's a genuine connection. And I think that we organically, we root for one another. I'd have a tough game, and the next day walking to get coffee or a sandwich, I'd have 1,000 hitting coaches telling me what I'm doing wrong, or a pat on the back saying, hey, you're going to get him tonight. So I think that's what made this relationship so special, is that, and I said it in the release to Ethan, that every night it felt like I had 40,000 friends and family that were genuinely rooting for me to succeed in the stands.
Hey, David, congratulations. You talked a little bit about the honor of kind of being the captain. I'm wondering kind of how you approached that day-to-day responsibility of being the captain, just in spite of being kind of so humble, being that guy that kind of kind of louds his teammates and stuff of that nature? And if that next guy is in the room, maybe what advice would you give to a future Mets captain?
Well, it's funny because I got a text from Al Leiter this morning, and it just brought back some memories of when I got caught up. I got caught up on a incredibly veteran team, whether it was Al or Johnny Franco or Piazza or Cliff Floyd, Joe McEwing, Mike Cameron. So I got the opportunity to learn from them and kind of apply that not just to my game on the field, but the things I liked about their leadership skills. And I've never been the most loud or yelling and screaming type guy. So I wasn't going to change that just because I was named captain. I wanted to do the things that got me to that point. And, I remember somebody telling me one time, giving me some advice that, when you do speak, you want guys to listen and it not to be just in one ear out the other. It's like the typical, David's going, having another team meeting. I wonder what kind of nonsense he's going to say today. So I tried to keep the rah-rah kind of yelling and screaming or team meeting stuff to a minimum. But when we did have them, I wanted the players and my teammates to feel like it was an important thing and that they were just as much involved as I was. It wasn't me standing up and yelling and screaming and fist pumping. It was, I wanted it to be a conversation. So, and each player is different. Like I tried to go up to each player every day and just have a small conversation with them, whether it was about their kids or their girlfriend or, how their apartment in New York was or what they had. Have they found any new good restaurants? So I tried to find each guy every day and go pat him on the back and just have a couple-minute conversation just to know what makes them tick or how I can lead them better. So I think that was important for me is each year starting in spring training, learning the guys and kind of learning what motivates them, what doesn't motivate them, and just a little background so that when you're playing alongside them, you know what's meaningful to them and what's not.
Next question is from Joe Masseri.
Hey, David, congratulations again. I think it's interesting because you kind of got to know when your last game was going to be. You had your daughter throw out that first pitch to you. Kind of two parts here. First thing is, what for you is it going to be like to share this experience with your kids who, at least your older kids, seem like will probably remember this and get to see you out there on the field?
Oh, all the kids are going to remember this. They've been talking about it since I got the call from Steve and Alex Cohen. So they're really, really, really excited. My oldest, who threw out the first pitch before my last game, thinks that she's like some sort of pseudo celebrity because she did get to throw out the first pitch. So my other kids are certainly jealous. So maybe we can somehow work that in this go around. But they're very excited. And the coolest thing for me is we tend to make it out to New York once or twice a summer. We try to catch a game while we're out there, and then coming out here, if the Mets come to Dodger Stadium or come out to Anaheim, we'll try to take the kids to one of those games. And it's really funny, and it's like I enjoy the look in their eyes when they see Francisco Lindor or Brandon Nimmo come over and say hello in full uniform, and they look at me and they're like, "Daddy, you used to do that?" And it's like, "Yeah, believe it or not, I used to do that." And see the look on their eyes. So it's really fulfilling for me to be able to share this with, obviously my family, in particular my kids, so that they can kind of see at one point in time your dad wasn't the dorky, goofy dad, and he was actually like not semi-cool, but semi, I guess, I'll call it semi-cool.